Colorado's second largest youth detention facility emptied its campus after internal emails uncovered by 9 News cited basic safety struggles.
The state has now begun reopening Lookout Mountain with fewer kids, a narrower population, and a retrained staff. For the first time, the state's new Division of Youth Service Director sat down with 9 News, and Ria Jha is live outside the facility in Golden right now with more on what they had to say. Ria.
Yeah, we spoke with the new director. His name is Alex Stoysavlovich. He took over about 2 months ago, so Lookout was actually empty at the time he took over. So this was really one of his first tasks at hand. We previously reported nearly 300 documented incidents, 85 employees leaving, and nearly 200 calls to police in the past year. So we asked him what went wrong and what changes have been made here. What were the things that you were hearing about Lookout Mountain? Was there anything that was particularly shocking or surprising to you about how the facility was being run?
It was kind of a multitude of factors that led to the transfer of youth and staff out of Lookout, specifically kind of the high acuity youth that were at Lookout Mountain, the staffing component, the staffing concerns around just having the appropriate numbers of staff, more senior staff.
How would you describe what's fundamentally different about this reopening than how it was running before?
So for this new cohort of youth that are at Lookout right now, so there's 2 groups, our assessment unit, and those are kids that are newly committed to the Division of Youth Services. The second cohort that we brought back actually last week is transition youth. So these are youth that are really within their last year with DYS and are going back out into our communities and out on parole. I think it's those pieces of you've got new youth coming in, kind of learning the expectations, youth coming out of the system, wanting to do well.
Have there been any changes at Lookout specifically to make sure the youth and the staff are safe from these assault and fighting incidents?
Yes, the retraining of staff, being clear about expectations, being clear about if you have a youth who's escalating, how are we actually addressing that? Are we talking them down? Are we calling a supervisor? Are we calling behavioral health staff? So really making sure that staff have the tools available to them.
How can you be confident that this reopening won't repeat what led to this shutdown in the first place?
We're being very strategic about kind of the reopening of Lookout, making sure we have the right staff, the right youth. We're following our policies, we're following our practices. What I would also say though is holistically coming in as a new leader and looking at DYS as a whole. Again, for me, this falls back to making sure we have safe practices, quality practices, and innovative. I've been clear, just because we've done something for 20 or 30 years doesn't mean there's not a better way to do it, a more innovative, or ways that we can bring in technology. And so that's really what I'm interested in building over the next few years with our staff and stakeholders.
The state did confirm that there was an assault here last night where one employee was transported to the hospital. They did say they're back at work this morning, but no other information other than that. So this was one of the first violent incidents since they reopened. The director said that if these violent incidents tend to spike up, they are planning on adjusting operations. So we'll see what that looks like. Reporting live in Golden, Ria Jha, 9 News.